holidays nale, adu namma GT Holidays da. South India's #1 travel brand.
Embrace the new era of learning 50.
I said, if Sripathy is doing this movie, if he is going to do only, I will give permission, otherwise no. They don't no need a movie.
Welcome, Vanakkam, Muttiah Muralitharan and Madhur Mittal.
Thank you.
Vanakkam.
Now, Murali, I've heard that you are a big movie fan. So I'm just going to begin with a very light question. What are your favorite movies? What have you seen of late?
See, lately, because I was busy with this, couldn't see anything last 2-3 weeks. Before that, the latest movie came is Jawan. So in Tamil, I saw it in Sri Lanka with my family, went in the theatres, because we all loved movies, Indian movies, but it has to be dubbed in Tamil only we'll watch. Hindi and all very difficult because subtitle, because I don't enjoy, because if you don't understand the language, then you can't get over of the movie, because you know the sequence and everything, but you enjoy the jokes or whatever serious conversation or what, you have to enjoy the language. So I watch mainly Tamil movies and then all dub movies.
Right.
But Hollywood, I watch bigger movies, like, because it doesn't, for me, that taste is not there, because our culture is different. Culturally, because Sri Lanka, India, everything same. So it has to, every movie has to connect to our culture. Then only it feels like something in real life.
Yeah. So, what is a Hollywood dub movie that you watched recently?
Hollywood, no.
No.
Bollywood. I watched a lot of movies. I watched about thousands of movies. I was, when I was young also, I was interested in movies, because entertainment is not there. When I was 80s and 90s.
Right.
So at the time, movie is the biggest entertainment.
Right.
So you go to a theater, you watch a movie. So those days, if you say Indian movies, the Sri Lankan movies also, they were popular at the time, but you watch. But Indian movies are the most comes there. So when it comes, because these days only it comes same day, it's released everywhere. Those days, after 1 month, 2 months only comes.
Yeah.
Then what happens is, it's a spoiler for the theaters, because everyone in Singapore, Malaysia, they get the cassette and we put it into the TV and watch the movies.
Right. And did you dream that your own life would become a movie one day?
Not at all. I never thought about playing cricket also, because when I was young, I interested and I loved cricket, because age of 6 when I went to the hostel. So then there is a strict, it's a St. Anthony's College, it's a Christian school, and it's a strict, because we had 600 students in hostel and about 3,500 students in the school. So my age group, the boardings are there, the dormitories are there. So 40 to 60 people at a time. So then you have play time, study time, playing time, like that time. Everything is on time, because you can't be late and its punishments will be there. So in the play time, everyone knows one single sport is cricket. So we play with the tennis ball. So that's why I got love about the game.
He just spoke about the language. You are not familiar with Tamil and you're
totally.
acting in a Tamil movie.
Right.
Every actor has a different way of tackling a film in a language that they're not familiar with. What is your process?
My process was mug it up. So first I would try to translate it and figure out how I would say it in Hindi, so that I could really bring out the right emotion. And then I would apply that onto the Tamil. So yeah, it was one of the challenges that I had on this film. But I think that's what makes it all worth it. Because if it's easy, then you don't really get a lot of satisfaction. So when you have something that challenges you in a lot of ways, at the end of it all, you feel like, okay, cool. I tried something that's worth doing. So yeah.
Is there some iconic line that you can speak for us right now?
I think the most iconic line that I have in the film, that in the trailer itself, we have that line, but it's in English.
It's in English.
Because the line is, when his father asks, so do you think you're a Sinhalese? And he says, no, I think I'm a cricketer. And I think that really defines Sir's character and the way he's led his life. He's not defined by lines of language or caste or religion or creed. goes beyond that and sees himself in something that everyone and a whole nation can relate to.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Coming back to what you just said, now you're a Tamilian settled in, I mean, your family is Tamilian and you're settled in Sri Lanka and your wife is from Chennai. What was your reaction when that whole controversy erupted about Vijay Sethupathi acting in this for various reasons? You know, how did you feel? Did you feel like, look, it's not that we're different or?
Yeah, because it felt very bad because people doesn't know me because they think no, because all guesses. So guesses is put into a controversial, like see this is a simple thing. What happened was, right? See, I was studied in Tamil, age of 1 2, speaks at home in Tamil, married a Tamil from India, right? So everything is that is you can't raise. I'm born a Tamil,
Right.
so this people doesn't understand, right? Because they take very serious on some, not everyone. It's about very
Right.
10% of the people, 5% are very in their own ways. They are, I could say, them very extremists in their society. They wanted to be like that. To others has to follow that. So they want to put their input to whole world and say this is the right thing, this is not right thing. So sometimes people who in the advantage taking in a politicians get into that wagon, and carry on to get their fame out of the public and present themselves. They are the heroes of this place, and we need to rule the country or this or that. So that is human selfishness, right? I feel like that. So me, nobody understood me, right? So I studied, and I'm in a hostel. I told you earlier also, age of 6 to 18, I was in the hostel. So we're taking by our ancestors. See, Sri Lanka is so different than any other places, because if you take Tamils also, they two division of Tamils. It is not division means they are divided in Sri Lanka because they also not together. How can be they get with the Sri Lankans like the Sinhalese? So it's a division had. It's from those days. It's Jaffna and in east and north of the Tamil who came thousands of years before, because Indian kings who are conquer Sri Lanka at the time, that's where the population has come that side. So where they speak also very different,
Right.
to Tamil, because they are speaking even sometimes Indian Tamils doesn't understand sometimes, right? Because the same language but with different way, different meanings, different things they do. We are from the Britishers, 1920s. My grandfather was a farmer in a place called Namakkal, and it's a Serukkalai, a small village. Still, we have things there in all south of India. So he went there for tea plantations. So tea plantation, Britishers took them. They wanted to them to be there. So we colonized there. So that's the way we come on the central part of that. So central part of the Tamils are mixed with Sinhalese, mixed with other religion, everything. In that part, Sinhalese are very less. So the see, once the for 1948, the Britishers all fought together. Right, when you fighting the Britishers, they were all united. Tamils or Sinhalese, or they weren't divisions or not. If you say freedom fighters, Tamils are there, Sinhalese also there. So these are the example. In 1955, some reason, because of the voting, then voting system came, this came, some turned power. So power, this division came.
Yeah.
So they won't see. I would say at the time, Sinhalese, like they want to take the power. With a one party was there. As far as I know, my knowledge, I'm talking, because maybe some wrong things happened. Don't know, because I was not born at the time. But I heard from them. In that party, they are division party. So that person who went and put a Sri Lankan National Party. That means Sinhalese who prominently in that.
Right.
So they became power.
Yeah.
Right, because automatically this power. So like that, then only the problem started. Tamils different, Sinhalese different. In 70s and 80s, it got worst, and it became like a war and civil war and everything. So this is under this only I was living. So then when this war is finished, 2009, 2019, what happened was my brother contested in same area, Tamil area in middle of the country. So he lost it because nobody gave a seat. So I have to support him. I went to his campaign. I supported. I was saying that. So that means I am not everything involved in this war. This is after 10 years. I'm not involved in the war, right? Because I'm not. Because my brother was involved in as a election. That is his freedom because he likes to be want to be a member of parliament. He lost it also, but he couldn't. But it's a Tamil area. It's in middle. It's a middle only. He contested in that party. He lost it. But then after that, in that party forum and everything, when you have a one forum was there, then they asked a question. What do you think when 2009 war finished? How do you felt? What do you think about it? I felt, I said at the time I was very happy, right? Because, and also I gave the answer because since now, right, there is no gunshot, no people from anybody not losing their lives. So at least peace is there. So that turned into the newspapers who are anti me on Tamils, right, to turn this subject to. I was saying that when LTT demolished, I was very happy. The statement all twisted and turned. So this what happened. This one, when Vijay Sethupathi took over, you know, few, I don't want to name few here, who supported by people who they will run their campaign on Elam, Tamil, right? Yeah. They got into and said Vijay Sethupathi not to act because I am a traitor of Tamil. So that is their perfection. That, and I was said Vijay Sethupathi, right? Don't get into this problems. They were threatened and everything, and he has about 6 or 7 movies, and because of me he should not get affected. So then I said to him, just to relieve that, somebody else will get in future.
Right, right. And you got him?
Yeah, we got him. We are here now to release this film on the 6th of October. But thing is, even my relatives, everyone in India. So, see, you don't understand a person. And when you say something, sometimes everyone makes mistakes. Can make mistakes also, words also can. But sometimes the newspapers and everything can twist.
Out of context.
Right, twist and turn into their advantage to make something thing.
Yeah.
See, that's the way it's happened. So it is nothing relevant to India or nothing relevant to my religion. See, I'm a born, see, always I have a stand, right? I'm a born Tamilian because that you can't change, right? And I'm born Sri Lankan, that you can't change. My religion, if I want, I can change, but I don't want to change. I'm a Hindu. So these three, I don't want to change anything. So I always think, say, some people want, okay, I didn't speak for Tamils. Then what, 1995 when chucking was a civil war is going, Tamil single problem was peak of the time, 1990s, 80s to 95, right? So when it's the peak of the time, when the chucking episode came, right, I was a Tamil and a young 21, whole country stand for me without a religion or race or anything. Then I have to stand for Sri Lanka because their immense motivation. I got over it because otherwise it was a very tragic moment for any
Very
cricketer.
traumatic also.
Yeah, traumatic. So then I can't take anybody's side. That's why I'm a cricketer, always indicate. My passport says what is your occupation? Cricketer.
Cricket.
When like Aadhaar card, we got identity card. In that they will ask, when you fill in the form, what is your occupation? Cricketer. So like like that, I carried myself, and also everyone knows me as a cricketer. They don't say me as a Tamil or Sri Lankan. Yeah, Sri Lankan cricketer. That's what identity. So I have to stand for that.
Right. And I sometimes think it's a little sad how things have become that even if it's like you said 10% of voices, sometimes not just in your case but in a lot of other cases as well, those few voices, become so magnified that they become powerful and they
The fringe is the loudest now.
the fringe is
Yeah,
the loudest
yeah,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, one of the most interesting things about this movie to me is the fact that it has been co-written by both the directors Sripathy and by
Shyam.
Shehan
Shihan.
Karnatilaka, who wrote this absolutely fantastic book called Chinaman, which I read
Yeah.
about, I think,
It's a great book.
5 6 years ago. It's a fantastic book, and what it does is it follows both cricket and Sri Lankan politics.
Sort of like a film.
It's exactly like I mean, so I'm like thinking, oh my God, they could not have chosen a better
better person.
co-writer for this film,
Yeah.
because that book is exactly this. Are you the kind of person who listens to narrations, or do you read the script?
It depends. There's no one size fits all for me. So it depends on project to
How
project.
was
Whatever
it
the
for this?
directors is comfortable with. So for this, I was first. I heard about this project by a friend of mine who called me, Akshay Bachu, who works for Kavish Sinha's casting team, who were doing the casting for this film. After obviously Vijay sir had to step back. When it initially came, because he didn't tell me much, he just started with it's a sports biopic, and I have done a couple of those before in my life, so I wasn't very keen. But as soon as I heard Murali sir's name, my ears went up, and then he told me that, Madhur, this is way more than just a sports film, and I didn't really understand what he meant till I actually
Got that.
got the story and I read it. It really
You read it.
I read it, right.
Okay, so-
And so it really, I was taken aback by how much I wasn't aware about Sir's story. Because we all think, oh, we know about Murali Sir, we know about the controversy.
That's why the tag says the unknown story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. So I was really taken aback about how much I didn't know, because I was a fanatic. I was a cricket fanatic growing up in the 90s. These are our heroes. These are all the people we feared, loved, everything, right? So I was really surprised by how much of a human story it is. That it's a story about identity, about a minority community and its journey through time, and through that you also see an entire country travel through a socio-political landscape. So it's complex. It's got layers, and like I said, even though it is about a cricket legend, it goes far, far, far beyond that. And I think that's what makes this really interesting. You don't have to be a cricket fan to go and enjoy this film, because you can enjoy it purely on the merit of the cinema itself,
Right.
and not like it's a gimmicky cricket film.
Right.
So yeah.
800 is the name of the film, and that's an astonishing record, right? It's like 800 international test wickets. I have to ask you this. Is there one that's particularly like, this is the highlight of the 800 wickets? Is there one wicket that's so special for you in whichever match?
See, so I'm a bowler. So those days they don't have all rounders or like this. I'm just concentrate my bowling, and they all wanted me to take wickets. So when I take every wicket, for me it's a priceless. It's like a gold. So because that's that I am there. So I've played with many greats. Many greats I've got out. So I can't say that I cherish this, I cherish this, but I cherished every time. Sometimes I cherish a wicket, like sometimes in tailenders they can be nagging, like 10, 15 overs, they don't give the wicket. They like play. But when you're tailender, you might for the top ender sometimes you get what you wanted sometimes. But a tailender, it's makes you. So I think priceless wickets are all wickets. So
Every wicket is-
every wicket is very priceless, because that's there for you. They are for these.
That's why he has 800.
That's why I have 800. There's another connection between cinema and cricket, which is that, the cutting in cinema has become shorter and shorter because, people's attention span has gone down. And similarly, what used to be test then became ODIs, and then now ODIs has
because
become
life is so fast. moving.
IPL. What is your thought about this progression? Of course, there is still Test cricket and all that, but the eyeballs it commands, the advertising it commands, that's like through the roof, right?
See, world is running at a very fast, right? It's people are trying to catch that, so it is going faster and faster. Sometimes human habits, sometimes eating. Sometimes I have seen in Mumbai, I went to this promotion. Sometimes I'm going a taxi. This guy is like, in the street, they just take this something and within
Eating
5 minutes they go. And so they don't have the time to heat even. So that's the way it is, and also that is bad for the human beings, because I think personally their lifespan will come down. Because if you see now, people who are 45, 43, see Saint Mon, 51, 50, 52, passed away because of way the lives, how you treated. So in a way it's bad for the human race. In a way, entertainment wise it's good, because they want like football, like the game. So they now doesn't have the spare, like, patient to watch 5 days, and also the sponsors are not willing to put the money into it. So the money you need to feed everyone in the cricket fraternity. So all have to get money. Everything is nowadays. So it is a gentleman game when played 90s, and I played a gentleman game when I was 80s and 90s, because there is no money, there is nothing fashion,
Right.
and you go and work and come back and practice. So that kind of a career I had.
The pure passion.
Yeah, because, and also I had the latest career also. I was playing for 25 years of cricket. Like Sachin played like 30 years. So we had a lucky we are so I think it is according to what the sponsors and everything, the game has changed. Even though I think you can't go smaller than this, but they are gone to smaller than 10 over games also, T10s,
T10,
Right.
yeah.
right? So if you go beyond that, there is no game, right?
It's gonna
So
end with just a toss.
for a cricketer like me, I have been in this test cricket. It's a pinnacle of cricket for test for me. So in that era, coming to playing T20 is just for fun, entertainment. Skill wise, you can't do much, because 4 overs, what you can do? Just what you can do in 4 overs. Even 10 overs, I don't like. I don't know. But you need to bowl a bowler. Batsman has to bat longer. So now, because of this shortness, but it's good for commercially, and people are enjoying. So we have to go with the trend.
So has your coaching technique changed? Because I'm sure you were coached in a very classical way. Now that you're a coach, do you coach differently?
Yes.
Or do you use your old principles
No,
and
because now game has changed.
right?
Like, you have to be a pure athlete. Those days you don't have to be a pure athlete to play a test cricket, right? You have to have strength and everything, endurance and everything. Now you have to have shaping, fast, you have to be fast, then power, like, hitting the ball. Those days you have to hit the along the ground. My coach says when I'm batting, no, if you lift the ball, I stop your batting. You have to along the ground, along the ground. No sixes, no along the ground. These days everything hit six, right? Changes. Power hitting. Now they throw the ball and hit out of the park. They will throwing the ball, you out of the ball. Emulate that. So it's a power hitting. When the spin bowling, those days say you be crafty. You do try to make the batsman play with his mind. There is no time to play with the mind. You line and length, you hit the Yorkers, you hit the right, don't get hit up. So don't think about spin. Think about how you're going to stop runs. So it changed a lot.
So your coaching has also
Yeah,
changed.
definitely, because people want to be playing 2020 cricket more than test cricket or one day cricket. So they are adapting to that, because it is the for them also livelihood.
Does that make you sad?
Sad, but I'm okay with
You're
going with the
practical.
trend. I'm going okay with trend, because if I, especially about me, I'm old school. Uh, we didn't get 90s phones or anything. When in 2000s only we had the mobile phones to our hands. Then after that, I used to have only the phone that not digital, like, numbers, you had to press the buttons, and only you can send a text, right? I want to see human touch, talking to them rather than sending text. It's getting boring, right? I actually got a smartphone when I was COVID,
Oh,
because 20, then, because all communication, human touch went off. So there's no. So then I had a smartphone. Then I left little between COVID, a little opened about little in 21, I think, 21, almost 2021, I think, right? So we has to play a match in supporting the sport. All Blacks versus Black Caps, like in New Zealand, they play rugby team, and it's a traditional game there. So myself and Maela we are very big fans of All Blacks. Right? I rugby very big fan. So they asked us to come and play for the All Blacks. So we went there. On the flight, when you're going, we were talking, chatting, and going. I said, these days, because of the COVID, the phone bills will be, when you're roaming and all, it will be very expensive and everything. He said, Murli, what are you talking? You can talk from WhatsApp. I said, what do you mean by that? WhatsApp. I thought WhatsApp you can message only. Okay. No, no, no. Then he only uploaded my phone WhatsApp and made him to call. Then only. So I'm adapting, right? Still some people won't adapt to that. But newer generation without technology, it's very hard.
No, this should be in the movie. No, this is amazing.
It is, it is.
I read that to play the part in Slumdog Millionaire, you hung out with some gangsters on Mirror Road.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
A little bit, yeah. So the thing is, because at the end of the day, everybody in a movie is a fictional character because there is a bit of fictionalization that happens with even real life people. As in, you're not totally changing it, but
Yeah.
there is, for movie reasons, you're kind of shaping it a certain way.
Right.
What is the difference between researching a fictional character versus researching how to play a real life character?
So I think the biggest difference off the top of my head that I think the first one is in a fictional character, you're trying to breathe some reality into it. So that's what your research is based on. How can I find like the reality that I can inject into this fictional character, right? And when playing something that's based on a real person, then your goal is completely different. There is already the real right in front of you. And how do I adapt that into, it's sort of like the opposite way. And I think it's even more magnified when you're playing someone as legendary as Murli sir is. Like everyone knows exactly what this person is like, their mannerisms, especially sir's action is so unique that everyone absolutely knows what it's like. So I think mirroring that in a way that doesn't make it a caricature, doesn't only end up being a mimicry of it, but then also as an actor you bring something of your own to it.
Right.
Right? So it's a little bit of a tightrope walk.
Right.
And when you are with the right people around you, because it takes a village to do something right like this, I think cinema is the only art form you can't do alone. You can paint a picture alone, you can create a song alone, but you can't make a movie alone. And I think that's what makes it really beautiful. It's a collaborative art form. And I had an incredible team around me. My director spent like almost, I think, 2 years, sir, in Sri Lanka with us.
Research, yeah.
Yeah, so and he was researching things like some things that even Sir was not aware of himself. So incredible, because I didn't get a lot of time with Murli sir, busy man, and he had a lot of coaches in IPL support staff, and so I met him once before the start of the film, and he came on set once in Kandy for one day, and then the next time I met him was at the trailer launch with Sachin sir and Sanat sir,
No, because why I did this, because once I give the only one thing I asked the director to do, it has to be very true.
Yeah.
It should not mix anything outside to make the movie nice and everything. Because my story, everyone knows a little bit, but inside nobody knows.
Right.
But it has to, you have to get the truth of not talking to my parents, my relatives, my neighbors, my friends, my hostel matrons, priest, so many people, a lot of international players. So he had a lot, 2 years of time, and he was sometimes he's staying in a house not my house, my mother's house, because everything mother knows and father knows, right, about me, not many. And then the hostel, going to the hostel and friends talking. So like that. So I wanted everything has to be true, but don't try to make it. But in 2.5 hours on this film is only 2 hours 38 minutes, making to nice and compact.
Crisp, yeah.
So some important incident also they would have not put it in,
Right.
like incident like tsunami. I almost there. I would have gone on the tsunami. So that incident took all the footage, everything done. When you do give out 10-15 hours of footage, they'll take it to and put it to 3 hour, make it a movie. So that's the only thing I asked, and also I didn't want to interfere in this movie at all. I have given the rights. That's their job. So I am a professional cricketer. When someone comes and interferes other than who are captain or coach or like that, they come and say to me, okay, fine. Outside coming and saying, I don't like it. Because they have so many things and they are seeing from that perspective. I can't take it. I can take it one professional coming and saying, this is what, sometimes I can take it, sometimes I won't take it.
Right.
Because I think right. So like that, I give the freedom to do this movie, because director has to have all freedom, because but it has to be true. Because I read the script about 4 or 5 times, make sure that nothing true is untrue is in this.
Right.
So it was not there. He was kept the word. So that's the only thing. Then I didn't want to go and interfere. Only once, because who's the actor? They want to interview. I didn't also care. I said, whoever you think is the best, you select.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be in that. So I was in Leela, and at that time auction was happening, and then he came for 20 minutes. I only said to him, he was a little bit nervous and a little bit talking to me. Then I said, uh, be yourself. Don't try to copy me, right? And get best out of you, and enjoy the moment, and just had a coffee. And then after that we left. Then he said, in Kandy, I said, came to my parents' house to see my parents. So then this was happening. Then I went and saw. Then the launch day. So we have to give freedom of doing anything.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you try to poke in and say, do this, do this. This will go into, because director's mind is different. He has to get the mind of actor to act what he wants in the
Yeah.
movie, and he, according to the script, and also he will bring something special also in the script and say, do like this, actions and everything.
So there was no micromanaging on Sir's part, but the flip side of that was I also didn't have the luxury of, like, maybe some other actors who've done biopics before have gotten to shadow the people they're playing for like 4 months, 3 months or whatever. I didn't have that, but what I did have was this dictionary in my director, who, you know, like we mentioned, spent so much time researching, you know, very thoroughly, and I heavily depended on him for guidance. And of course, I did my own research. You know, watched all the videos I
Footage.
could get my hands on. I you know, read stuff, articles and the likes. You know, all the interviews I could find, and yeah. So there was a lot of help from my director. I think all the credit for this has to go to him, and he really, I think, has done a tremendous job.
When it comes to the physical, see, when you're doing a biopic
Hmm.
and there's a real life person, there's the physical stuff, which is like try to be as much as possible,
Right.
like Muttiah Muralitharan. There's also the emotional stuff, right?
Absolutely.
So what is the thing about him that was easiest to pick up, and what is the thing about him that was the toughest to pick up?
So the toughness has to be the physicality, because it's something that's very foreign to you. You know, this is a completely different person. You have to sort of walk like him, bowl like him, and all of those. Obviously, the prerequisites to doing a biopic. That was obviously the toughest part. I spent, I think, 3 months around. I was filming something else, a show before this. So after my shoot would end in the night, I would go and train with my bowling coach, who was like the head coach for Rohit Sharma's academy. Vicky sir. So he's an off spinner himself, big fan of Sir's, so he really helped me get, you know, the action. But also I was, in a way, you know, blessing in disguise. I had a really bad car crash around 8 years back, which really messed up my right elbow, and after that it's sort of a little bent. And after I started, I was locked for the film. I realized that, oh, Sir's elbow is
Yeah, I got
naturally bent.
37. That's all problem.
That's an amazing coincidence.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
So it's some things are destined for you. You know, like a big star, like Vijay sir was supposed to do this already, but it found its way to me, and I find that really almost poetic in a way. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
it's some things are meant for you, and I think this is one of those occasions. It's like I'm MM, sir is MM. He shares his birthday with my mother. Like the coincidences are crazy. He started working on his craft when he was like around 7 or 8 years of age. I think around that time, I started working on mine. My father quit his job and we all moved to Bombay when I was 7.5, so that I could become an actor. So there's a lot of these crazy parallels, and I'm a little shy and a little reticent usually outside of my work. But when it comes to you put a film camera in front of me, that's my jungle. I'm supremely confident in front of a movie camera, not in front of an interview camera or a still camera. That's not really my
You're
space.
doing quite well.
Ah, you're very kind. You know what? The last few days, I'm getting a little bit better with each passing day, I think. But I think Sir is the same. He's like this really, not a man of few words, doesn't really express too many, always smiling. But when he's on the field, he just transforms into this absolute warrior and a gladiator. And that I could really, really, really relate to. And I think that was more relatable for me and much more fun to play because I could feel it. I could really understand where he was coming from and the dichotomy of it. So yeah,
And what was the easiest thing?
nothing was easy on this film.
Right, but relatively.
It was this, I think, relating to how he is as a person. I could really relate to that.
Okay.
The physicality and everything else, getting the look right, but also like I had a tremendous amount of help for that.
Right.
This is something I had to do on my own, like as an actor, just in terms of performance. So I think that was comparatively, being the operative word here, comparatively a little easier to understand
Right.
where this character was coming from in a lot of important points in the story.
Right, right.
So-
The 2 or 3 times that you met him, did you discover some things about him that probably you said, let me try this? I know it's not there in the script, but let me just try this because it's something that seems interesting to me.
It's not something that I like blatantly used in a scene, but it's, there are nuances that you carry in the back of your head while performing. And I think it's something that Sir mentioned. It's it has to be true, it has to be true. And I think what he always meant by that was, let's not make this an exercise in like self-glorification.
Right, right,
He's that person, he's like, no, this has to be completely true.
right.
So I think that really tells you what kind of a person he is. And he's absolutely not afraid of letting the opposite point of view also be shown in this film. Actually, he was very adamant that it should be shown. It's people who have who have had maybe opposing points of view about him. And there's a whole storyline about that as well. And their perspective is shown objectively. And there have been biopics in the past where, I wouldn't like to take names, but even a really big film about cricket that had come out just recently, I think. A lot of the bigger cricketers didn't want certain things coming out and being portrayed in those films. And certain legendary cricketers at that. So he's not that kind of a person. He actually had no qualms about it. He wanted all this in the film. And that really says something about him as a person. It takes a certain kind of man to be secure enough to let people, the opposing points of view be shown in a film about his life.
Right, right.
Like, it doesn't have to be. So I think that I really carried with me, that this is the kind of person that Sir is. And I don't know how much I've been able to show that in the performance. I'll let you be the judge of that. But that is something that I really carried with myself.
A lot of people, famous people, when they're asked to write an autobiography, or somebody sits with you and takes down, and ghost writes with you or something like that, the reason they say they refuse the offer is because they say it'll hurt too many people if I really tell the truth. So they refuse to do that. Was that ever on your mind that I know I want to be true, but because of this I know some people are going to get hurt? Was that ever on your mind?
See, that's why I didn't write an autobiography.
But the movie is there.
The movie is different.
Right.
The autobiography, word by word, everything has to be true. Because then, see, all humans, like, we all human beings, right? We will do mistakes, right? We will correct those mistakes. Otherwise, we are not gods.
Yeah.
We will be like, so we do a lot of mistakes in life. So you have to have, that's the beauty of when I was in hostel, I learned age of 6 to 8. So you purposely sometimes do mistakes. When you realize if that person is hurt, you have to go and you should not say shamed about saying sorry to him.
Yeah.
Same way that person who one does anything to you, you should not you should go and forgive and forget, move on. See, human life is not about byproducts. Like, I think byproducts are houses, these cars, are all byproducts, like, money, everything. But the human friendship, like, you more people you meet, that is the important, because in your life, our lifespan is very short, right? So I'm not sake of saying like saying to you, like, not see, I have done examples in that. One example I'll give. 1995, Daralia called me. That is was shocking and upset, and so they said all my things are turned upside down, right? So let's episode finish. 2000 in Edgbaston. You can see the footage also if you can go, right. Edgbaston is umpiring. Okay, after this episode, first time is umpiring. Okay, so Edgbaston he walked in. Normally, in cricket field, when you go, umpires go and check the wickets and everything, then players will warm up. So I made sure I went near him, shook his hand, and said, "How are you?" and everything, how's going, everything, made him comfortable. I didn't want to be like, in that match whole 5 days. He's like, upset what I done. Maybe he would have thought, okay, shouldn't have done, ICC cleared and everything. Now in this match, he will be nervous. He will be upset. So I made him very comfortable. After that, after the match, all shook off, and I don't have any regrets because it's past, gone, finish.
Right.
So, like that, why I'm saying you have to be truthful to your life. So many people can do wrong thing, but it will hurt you at the time. And then you have, once you 2 3 days, you have to forget and forgive because it's gone. Because that man has done something wrong, but you should not keep a grudge and try to attack him, right? That's what a lot of people do, right? I don't want to do that. So then you were saying about this has to be true everything, right? Okay. One incident, censor board asked a question when you release the trailer. You have seen the trailer. There is a conversation with the LTTE, right? Right? Because people will think, no, the director would have lying this, right? So censor board asked the question. It is really happened, and they want some evidence because it's a true story. And then 2000 to 2005, I was the World Food Program ambassador. So at the time, 2002 or something, only the peace code happened between LTTE and the government. So there is a controlling area of LTTE, and controlling areas, they can't come this side, they can't go. So you have to go through permission to go through that area. So, and also LTTE was a banned organization. Nobody can, public can't go and see them. That is the rules and regulation of the country. For me, through the UN, because I have to go and check as ambassador, the foods are delivered properly to the needy people. So north side also I have to go. So that's why I went there. I went to the head office. I met the people who are there. That the conversation is there. But I met 3 times. There's a first, then also Janasakti Insurance, I was brand ambassador. We want to make sure that their children also deprived from cricket, so play a cricket match. Myself and Kaluitarna went with the Janasakti team and played against the combined 11 of Jaffna. So that's once. Then they had a sports minister and all. I met them, right? Then next one is I met is 2005, the tsunami. Still I was a brand ambassador for World Food Program. So all the help is getting this side, their side is nothing. So I took personally trucks of trucks, go and loaded everything, foods and everything. I went to and met these people or needy people who are in the coastal areas of north and east, especially north. North didn't get affected, east. So that area I went and met. So these 3 times I have met them, right? I had a conversation. So people's perception is different because you have to be true in life. Because when you're doing a biopic, no point trying to portray yourself and you're the wonderful man in this world. Nobody's interested. Who cares about you're going to be a wonderful man in this? It has to be true. What happened, what. So that's what all about in this movie.
Right. So now we're just a few days away from release.
Ji.
Have you seen the film? Have you seen the film?
Let's go first.
No.
You haven't seen the film
I
yet.
see the trailer. Because I didn't have the time to see. Mother-in-law she's from Chennai. My son and my wife They were in last week or something. So then the whole film was ready. So I think director asked them to come and see.
Have you seen it?
I have seen the parts that I've dubbed in Hindi.
Oh, right, obviously.
I think the film is going to be tremendous based on the writing and obviously the shoot that we did. I think it's going to be a tremendously well-made film. Sripathy is a very, very, very competent director, and it was really a pleasure working with him because we're both sort of young. Like, this is my debut down south, my first film in Tamil and Telugu that's coming out. So, and it's his, I think, second film as well. So we're both sort of young in our careers. Even though I've been doing this for 25 years, I'm still finding my feet.
Sure.
These are two people who came together to tell this life story of an absolute legend. So there's a little balance there with like the newness and the freshness that we bring, and then obviously the incredible story that Sir has, which is stranger than fiction. You know, his story, like, you can't make this. It's really stranger than fiction. If you made this, if this was fiction, you would be like, this is not believable.
Yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah.
You know, the last match, there's like 8 wickets left. Oh, this guy got 8 wickets in the last. That's not believable. But it happened in real life. And so,
So before that, everything I said about Sripathy, right? Because, see, you know, this film, I have not told most of the channels whoever asked me. So I didn't want to do a. This is forced to because I have a foundation, big time. I help a lot of people because of whole country helped me. I put this foundation of goodness with my friend Kushal Gunasekara and manager and the friend Ashan Malasekara. So with them, I put this foundation. So this one went beyond because we made 1,000 houses for tsunami, after effect and everything, and we helped a lot of millions of people. So this heard by I was retired and I'm completely out of cricket and only doing a stint for SRH. Whoever asked, I was having good time with family and quietly with my son because when you play cricket, you know, you miss your son, daughter, because I'm not home. I can't be again going and doing the same thing and they'll be like, you know, I have to be there with them. So that's why 2018 Venkat Prabhu wants to come with Sripathy and another two friends to visit the foundation, not me even foundation. Then they went and saw that my pictures are there, everything. They thought I was involved. So Venkat Prabhu's all houses are in near Aryapuram. So my wife also from there.
She's his neighbor or something.
Neighbor.
Like that,
So
right?
they are childhood friends. So he wants to see, walked into my house. Then, only this start, and I didn't want it first. Then manager said because foundation can be helped through this film, so you get a gift. So I gave the rights. Then they had some problem with the producer and they left. That Sripathy was 1.5 years writing. Then I told him, Sripathy, you finish it because then we'll see who can. Then only I only suggested if this film is going out, a lot of people went against me. Even my family said, you have to take a reputed director to do this. First he was assistant director, only one full movie that. I said, if Sripathy is doing this movie, if he is going to do only, I will give permission, otherwise no. They don't no need a movie. Because I thought he has so much researched on me. He knew me inside out, how I am, how that. So he can only put this into a movie with Shayan Karnatna, whatever script writing, because both together only jointly did it. Also, he can only see this movie how it's coming and going, what is the lines, and he can put the actor also say, you have to act like this, you have to do like this is the mannerism, this is that. So if someone like, you know, huge, there are like a bigger director, he will come in my saying. I know a lot about movie, little bit reading and writing what 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years I'm following. So a bigger director will come. He will have so many projects, right? He won't have the patience. So he will read the script. According to that, he will make up his mind and he'll put it. Then it will be ordinary film, right? Only Sripathy could give this extraordinary film. I think I have not seen, but it's going to be a. My story is extraordinary. Because I don't want to portray it, but it is that has happened in my life. So he could have given. So I think nobody could have done this like that. When you see in the movie, you will see they have put a lot of money into it. same way, lot of effort to bring this out, because it's not going easy to do a cricket movie, and also 4 countries you have to go and shoot it. It's not, it's expensive as well.
Also, so when we were in Sri Lanka, like when we landed,
The financial crisis was there.
it just started, like it erupted the whole country, and it was really tough. So even though we as a filmmaking unit were facing a lot of challenges, seeing actually the people go through what they were going through made us feel like, okay, cool,
And
we can deal with this.
and also the DOP, Adi Rajasri, was
Of
great.
course.
And whoever the done, like
makeup team.
whoever the editor, Praveen, he was,
Oh, yes.
they say is best. And then Gibran's music, something unbelievable background music. So these are the guys who have put this acting wise, everything. So it has come really well, because I saw from the trailer. I have seen a lot of trailers and everything. It's unbelievable. You can in this trailer you can glimpse about the story a little bit, but you have to guess a little bit more also. So he has given something to hint to the people.
So can't wait. Hope the movie comes out as well as you hope it to be, and you hope it to be as well.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
so all the best, and thank you for sharing your stories with us. They were most fascinating.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for coming and spending the time with us, because it's something important, because these things has to get into people, and then only people, if they wish to go and see, they will see. And always people's mind, it depends on their mind on the day.
Sell the movie a little.
I'm a person who, see, we can't force people to do that.
Right. No, I'm saying sell it. Like you're unselling it. It's like
I'll do
you're
that.
almost like saying, well, if you want, go. If you're in the mood, go. You're supposed to say it's a great movie.
No, I'm not a movie person. I'm not a movie promoter. So this is how I can't sell myself.
Yeah.
You understand?
No, I'm
Because
kidding. I'm
it-
kidding.
it-
It's actually
it-
very refreshing.
Absolutely.
Because
Yeah.
it's usually everyone is saying 5,000 things about the movie, and when you go to the movie, you realize that actually it's not living
because
up to the
I don't want to be a liar to the thing. See, they go and they have to give the honest opinion, because you first day some people will go, they'll give the honest opinion, so then people will understand what is this. Because I'm not supposed to sell my movie on my, because it is my life story. If it's a friction or something, we can sell it.
Yeah.
But I can't sell my life to something, to see, okay, these extraordinary things happen, and it's an inspirational story for the youngsters who want to be not a cricketer, who want to be anyone in life. So there is lesson to be learned. uh, these things I can say, like, in my life, do or die, like, situations. So you don't take it back, except you face it.
Yeah.
In thousands of, you see, Michael Jordan, I loved him, like, as a sportsman, like, I was one of the heroes. So he said, sometimes for his success, he has failed about 1,000 times
Yeah.
to get the success. So how to taste the failure? When you taste the failure, you will success. So many things you can learn from this movie. So it's a enjoyment as well. So
Yeah, yeah.
those are things I can say, because I can't sell my story.
It's under promise and over deliver. That's what we're gonna
That's
do.
good, and I'm really looking forward to this movie because of
Yeah.
one reason, which is that the lives of every remarkable person, they teach you something. But
Right.
there's something about sporting people that's very inspirational.
Yeah.
Like
Also, hopefully we do that without being too preachy about it,
no,
because
not
it's
preachy, but there's
yeah.
something about the journey of sports
Yeah.
people, whether
Yeah.
it's tennis or cricket or whichever game it is,
Absolutely.
because you could probably find the work of a businessman, the life of a businessman, very
Absolutely.
inspirational as well.
Absolutely.
But there, it's all mental activity, right?
Yeah.
You're like, whereas here, there's so much of physical stuff happening.
Also, a lot of emotional
stuff.
upheaval
So-
and yeah.
Cricket is a game that it is so hard game. It is not like other games. A lot of mind has to work, and physically or to train and everything. It's a sport that teaches you life. So it's something special on cricket, because I'm not saying T20 or in Test cricket.
Right.
That's why they call Test. Your life is tested there. So everyone will enjoy, I think, seeing this.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Holidays nale, adi namma GT Holidays da. South India's #1 travel brand.
New way learning through 5D.